when we do trigger warning, I don't tell people you've got to listen to me. I don't tell people I've got the truth. It's just my fucking opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion, yeah.
That's
it's a stream
what
of
it
consciousness,
is.
ultimately.
Yeah, and you take a lot of factual information that's research. You have opinion stuff on as well, but you never say you have to believe this.
Not at all.
In all the years I've known you, we've disagreed on many, many things, like chemtrails, for example.
Yeah.
We disagree. But never once have you said to me, well, I'm not fucking bothering with you if you don't agree with me.
Yeah.
Or you're a fucking idiot.
It's becoming a condition of business now, almost. It's becoming a condition of partnership, a condition of friendship. That you have to agree on these things.
Wouldn't that make our phone calls really dull?
Very dull. But what it's done, I think, is, and this has been happening over a period of years, I think, if you want to just jump into COVID for a minute, it's very simplistic what I'm going to say, but I think it's partly now to blame for the reason that people can't really come together and kick these governments into touch and get rid of them, all of them, and say, no, actually tomorrow I'm opening my fucking business. Tomorrow I'm taking my gran out of that care home and I'm bringing her to the park. I'm wrapping her up well. I'm going to give her some vitamin D or whatever. I'm going to give her some vitamin C. It's that separation of people. And I believe there's evidence that this was planned over decades and decades and decades. Divide, conquer, in about 500 different ways. Obviously, the early ways were race and religion.
And critical theory.
Critical theory. You talk about critical theory.
It goes through everything.
That's right. And this is where we are.
I can't say about COVID being manufactured or not. I've not seen compelling evidence.
Well, I don't know if it was or not.
Well, that's the thing. That's where I stand. You know how I stand when I piss off all your listeners when I talk about 9/11.
Yeah.
I only know what I know.
Yeah. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether COVID-19 is a real and new mutation of previous coronavirus. It matters not. The irrefutable facts about coronavirus is that it is absolutely not 100% not worse than seasonal flu. It isn't.
Well,
we know this, right?
Deaths without comorbidity, as best we can guess.
They're down to even less than 1,000, right?
Well, it's about 700.
Yeah. Right.
A lot more people died in 2019 of diabetes.
That's right.
I don't think we're going to lock the country down so we don't kill Granny.
No, so at some stage, people begin to wonder what's really going on. And again, we're back to the barrier. The barrier to moving forward is you get, in the independent media, you get competing ideas and competing ideologies, where you have hundreds and hundreds of people, some of them with big, big followings, some of them with not, all saying, well, it's my way or the highway. This is what's really going on. And it's insane. And ultimately, you just get inertia. Nobody does anything, and it just rolls on, you know?
If you just roll out an idea, I think maybe it's this, I think maybe it's that. The first thing you're going to deal with is not a debate, it's abuse. That's the first thing you're attacked. And that's where we are now. We've, you know, my thoughts on how social media has engineered society. And we can disagree about why and where, but it has.
Well, it has now, yeah.
It has, because those algorithms...
It's kettled everybody.
You know, there could be reasons for you, say, or business reasons where I see it, the way I see it, is these algorithms are created to just keep them engaged, let them be mildly annoyed, not too annoyed, because they're incredibly sophisticated, but it's backfired. For us, not for them. Still works very well for them. But it keeps you in these bubbles of complacency.
Yeah.
Where there's just enough information coming in to annoy you, but there's enough affirmation that all you have to do is attack. And we're seeing this now going across our entire society, where without agreement, there's attack. Nobody can just sit down and have a fucking chat.
No, of course not.
You know? Why can't you? I mean, I said the other day, the phrase I hate is agree to disagree. Well, fuck that. I want to disagree.
Just disagree, yeah.
I want to disagree, and like we do sometimes, and sometimes we raise our voices, and we, you know, I'm pacing in my kitchen, you're pacing in yours. But at the end of it, it don't fucking matter.
No,
because we just had a good chat.
No, well, ultimately, we conclude, regardless, these things are happening. Tyranny reigns on planet Earth at the moment. It's getting worse. Some of the things that have happened in recent days. You have the MHRA, Dr. June Rain, the woman supposedly tasked with making sure that the Pfizer and BioNTech, well, it's the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines are safe, admits in front of a parliamentary committee yesterday that what do you do basically at the MHRA? Answer should be, we work day and night to make sure that medicines coming into our country don't kill people. Her answer was, we enable access. Black and white. And in the future, in the very near future, we're moving to a new preventative type of medicine. And preventative type of medicine means, and they've said this before, lots and lots and lots and lots of vaccines for everybody every year.
Isn't the thing with this
everything
vaccine,
you can think of.
Number one, how the government have handled this makes it, aside from everything else, makes it the most fertile ground for conspiracies.
The
way conflicting information, scientists clearly being told to change their mind, about fundamentals, not because new information's come out, about fundamentals. And I can see very clearly how if you want to connect these dots, it's never been easier. If you, wherever you want it to go, no problem. Must be a great time for some of the bigger guys, because you can just make hay while the sun shines right now. And I do believe some of them take advantage of people equally as much as the government and the other people do. It's no less emotionally bruising. But we're not even stumbling into totalitarianism. This is what scares me. We're begging for it.
Or sprinting for it.
They've
sprinting for the line, people,
managed to a point where people are informing on their fucking friends and neighbours for not following guidelines. Where the Greater Manchester Police tweet saying, we've just given someone a £10,000 fine because 30 people were in that restaurant. They were having a Aren't we good?
West Midlands Police yesterday, or last night, bragging about using cutting tools to cut into a local football club's clubhouse because there were some lads in there having a few beers.
Having a lock-in.
Bragging about it.
The worst part is, isn't it? That report came out about the Greater Manchester Police. I don't have it with me, but something like 1 in 4 violent crimes are not recorded.
Not recorded.
But they can, and they'll say, well, it's pressures and, we're getting the funding cut. It's like, no, I get it. That must be really bad. But how are you finding it to do non-crime hate incidents? How are you finding it to chase
garden parties?
For garden parties. How are you finding the money for that? How can you go and knock on someone's door because of some shit they've said on Twitter? But we're not going to take
Both of us have interviewed people who've been have had their door knocked in, or not knocked in, but they've had their door knocked on because they've said you're not a woman, you're a man.
Kate Scotlow.
Yeah,
they took a PC, kept her in a cell.
Imagine that.
Shocking. Today, she won her appeal. So it's not the case of right, it's all over now. They've wiped it. It's been expunged. Yeah. It was a non-crime.
But it'll happen again, though. You see, this is the problem. It doesn't matter. It'll happen again anyway. I go back to the tyranny thing. I've been watching it with great interest the last few days. They're desperately keen for everybody to have the vaccine, which might be very dangerous. It might be. The swine flu vaccine was incredibly dangerous. This one might be very dangerous. I'm going to put my neck out and say I think it will be very dangerous. I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. But I don't know that to be true. That's conjecture. It's amazing. They try and dismiss conspiracy theories about Bill Gates by telling a massive lie. They lie and they say, I've heard James O'Brien do it. I've heard Kay Burley do it. We won't be hearing Kay for 6 months.
Yeah, she's been a naughty girl.
Love Kay. But what they do is, she's fantastic. What they do is they say, oh, we're fed up with these crazy conspiracy theories like Bill Gates on the microchip, everybody. Wow.
Can I just say, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
When Richie says Kay is
Kay
he
Burley.
means it because every time Kay Burley opens a fucking mouth, he knows he's just done 20
I'm
minutes of
recording
his show. He's just done 20 minutes. No problem.
You go to jail for what I've done to Kay Burley. I've stalked her all over the fucking internet for years. Kay's felt a presence sometimes. It's me. I learned. I used to interview people like General Bert Stubblebine. They made the film The Men Who Stare at Goats about him. Yes. Lovely gentleman. Very, very...
very grounded.
Very senile. Not senile, Jesus Christ. No, I don't mean senile. I meant eccentric. If Bert's wife, if his widow was watching, she'd kill me. Rima Lebo, another lovely woman, an MD. Very eccentric, Bert. But Bert used to talk about stuff like that, about remote viewing and stuff like that. So I used to look in on Kay. She must have felt it. But yeah, they say things like crazy conspiracy theories like Gates and the microchips. The fact is, the conspiracy theory that people like me have been listening to, because I'm a nobody, these are not my theories. I listen to learned men and women who've looked into this. The conspiracy theory about Gates is true. Gates Gates is almost exclusively responsible for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine coming to market. It's Bill Gates, basically.
Right.
It's Bill Gates' money in Gavi, in CEPI, in about 500 different vaccine alliance groups. It's Bill Gates' money in Imperial College London. It's Bill Gates' money at the Oxford University. It's Bill Gates' money at the MHRA, which is supposed to be independent. And Bill Gates funds the World Health Organization to the tune of more money than any other independent country. This is Gates' story, this. And that's what people like my guests want to talk about. But the media covers, it's like having a big fucking fart in a room where there are lots of farts, where there are lots of people going, they're farting like this, going, hey, Gates has done this, Gates has done that. I'll tell you how we'll cover all of those farts. We'll just pick out some people who talk about Gates and microchipping, and that will just muddy the waters completely. Yeah, Gates is everywhere. The guy's a eugenicist. I know the clip of him saying Africa vaccines. I know it's often used out of context, but the guy wants to see the world depopulated, as do many prominent royal family members and others. And there is a big story there that the mainstream media is totally ignoring. It is Bill Gates' agenda, the agenda to vaccinate everybody on planet Earth regularly for the good of our own health. It's pretty much Bill Gates.
Let's be fair, even if you were in the mainstream media and you fancied it, how far are you going to get?
You're not going to get very far. He funds the BBC. Now look, that's a disingenuous thing to say. Saying he funds the BBC might give rise to a critic of mine saying you're an exaggerating bald bastard. Yes, obviously the BBC is funded by licence payer money, but he spends money with them. Yeah, a lot of fucking money.
There's a lot of production companies involved in that.
That's right, and the European Union. Gates gives money to the European Union. Every academic institution, every major one in every Western country.
Touched it.
Yeah,
much like you with Kay Burley. He's with everything else.
Everything else, right? And it's his belief that healthcare in the future should be basically revolving around preventative health.
Yes.
Where's he getting all this from? This is the bastard of the antitrust trials in the US in the 1980s. This is an evil fucking bastard. Evil by every measurement. And he's determined to use his money. And some journalists have actually taken him on. If you use a search engine, you'll find Telegraph, Guardian articles, not recently, but say 5-6 years ago, asking, this guy is circumnavigating governments through philanthropy, through alleged charity. He's an evil bastard. And nobody wants to talk about it. And the way to cover the fact that it's out there so much that you've got to say something is say, crazy conspiracy theories about him putting microchips in vaccines. No, fuck that. We could talk about that some other time. Let's talk about what he is doing. And that's where we are.
I think nanobots came up when I spoke with Emma Kelly. I don't believe she believes in nanobots. I'm not sure. But I think who muddies the water just as much is, again, the alternative media.
No doubt about it.
Because one lecture meet's got nanobots in the vaccine. I said, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
How do you know about technology?
Yeah.
Because it's not a matter of they've got it and they've hidden it from us.
No, the prototypes are there, right?
I mean, the most you could look at with nanobots, and I see no reason to disbelieve this, is you could have a tiny machine with one program, with one function.
Is that where they are now, you think?
I think that's where the work.
But they wouldn't tell us where they are, would they?
No, I mean, no.
So like DARPA.
Scientists have been quite open that we built it. I mean, because if you think about, if we take out the evil side, the idea, and I think I'll put this to Emma as well, if in the future, if they said, right, we're going to put you've got cancer, stage 4, now it'd be chemo, all this other stuff. If they said, look, these things are going to go in, they'll just go for that tumour, and, we can do 2 programs on them. So they'll go for that tumour, they'll kill that, and on the way back, they'll scrape out your arteries.
Sounds brilliant, doesn't it?
See, that's what we want.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an ideal world, that sounds wonderfully benevolent and beautiful. Yeah, fantastic. But no, the transhumanist agenda, and I know you've got some sympathy with the transhumanist agenda. There are very powerful billionaires. They're not bankers. They're not fucking Jews either. They're not Irish. They're not fucking English. There are very, very powerful people who have long wanted to basically turn us into some fucking hybrid between machines.
It's that dream of eternal life.
That's right.
And
they're very influential, these people.
I mean, a lot of things they work towards. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? For all we talk about this, if they said, we've discovered a way, stem cells and nanobots, whatever, if you snap your spine, we can fix it.
We can help you walk again, yeah.
I'd
If Christopher Reeve was alive and
Yeah.
somebody said, we can do,
I'd have it
put some
tomorrow.
chips there, of course.
If they, anything like that, you go for it.
That's how it's sold, isn't it?
And I think
The
even if,
nefarious stuff is not
well, what you have to remember is that
the surveillance for a start.
But even if you move away from our governments, because surveillance is a given.
Yeah. I know, but this is the argument that they always
Yeah.
say, don't they? You're worried about Bill Gates and the fucking microchips, and at the same time you're carrying this.
We're going to
around.
accept it.
Yeah.
As a people, we're just going to go, well, whatever. Because
Yeah.
if someone says it's fixed your spine or got rid of your cancer, or you think, well, you know what? You look where I am. I don't care. I'm being listened to by my Google Home. I carry a phone around me. I
Yeah.
don't turn that shit off. I don't go anywhere. But it's your choice at least. When it's not your choice, it gets scary. When you can't take the Google Home out of your house.
Yeah.
When you can't go, I'll turn all the shit off on that, thanks.
And do you? I don't know how you see this.